Pope Francis's funeral ceremony at the Vatican brought together a multitude of 250,000 from across 150 countries who came to witness the final journey of a man who, despite his position, cherished compassion, peace, and love. The world was at a standstill as global political leaders flew from all corners to join millions of Catholic faithful in paying their last respects to the Pope Francis, whose message of peace transcended all corners of the universe. Despite the Pope being the head of the Catholic Church, the event attracted religious leaders from other denominations who even blessed his body and led in prayers. Gatete has those details.
As early as 4 a.m., thousands had already gathered at the gates leading to St. Peter's Square. Security officers who had brazened the night chilly weather to secure the area allowed the 250,000 multitude from 150 nations to start accessing the venue where the funeral ceremony was to be held 6 hours later. From the young to the old, nothing could stop them from attending the service. It was not just the faithful but also hundreds of global leaders who landed in Italy to give their last respects.
Benedetto.
U.S. President Donald Trump and his predecessor Joe Biden, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres, King Felipe, President Emmanuel Macron, India President Rupert Murmu, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi Sheikh Khalid bin Mohammed bin Zayed, President Felix Tshisekedi were just among the dignitaries who attended the service. President William Ruto, who concluded his China tour on Friday, flew to Rome just in time to join other leaders in paying his last respects. The funeral ceremony gave an opportunity for leaders to exchange greetings of peace, as had been envisioned by Pope Francis. President Trump and Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky had a surprise one-on-one engagement inside Vatican, where they discussed possible solution to end the Russia-Ukraine war. But it is the act of universal church that caught the attention of many. Members of the Eastern Church who were given special sitting area were also allowed to participate in Pope Francis' final burial rites. The clergy were allowed to approach the casket and bless the body of the late Pope. They also made prayers during the closure of the funeral ceremony. In Manila, Philippines, where faithful gathered in churches to follow the funeral ceremony, they could not hide their tears as they watched Pope Francis' last moments. In his home country, Argentina, thousands gathered in the streets to celebrate one of their own, with Catholic faithful holding a mass in his honor. The burial of Pope Francis marks the start of another long process for the Roman Catholic Church to elect the next pope. Almost all cardinals have arrived in Vatican, ready for the exercise that begins between 15 and 20 days after the death of a pope. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV.